The devil is busy. Yeah, he sure is. Satan and his minions are very busy. Busy doing what? Well, it's obvious. Busy vexing and misleading humanity. That's what they're busy doing. You've probably said it a time or two yourself. The devil certainly is busy. He is busy and he's always showing up when you least expect him or when you have something good going on. There he is. Up jumps the devil to ruin whatever good thing you got going on or to impede it in some kind of way. The devil is very busy. But why is that anyway? Why is the devil so busy? Well, I guess part of the answer is that it's his job, kind of, sort of. He's been condemned to roam the earth and seek whomever he may devour. So that's part of the explanation. Nevertheless, here's something to consider. The Messiah said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God. Seek after the kingdom of God. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." All these things, all the blessings that you try to make happen for yourself, that the devil seems to be able to just creep in and screw up. All the good things. Seek ye first the kingdom of God. You know, every day I go out into the world, I have a full-time job and that kind of thing. And I encounter for the most part, I encounter the same people every day. And then during the course of those days, I encounter other folk that are strangers, people that I hadn't seen before, and that kind of thing. But I see evidence consistently of satanic intervention in these people's lives, whether it's the same people that I see every day or if it's strangers that I see. I see proof of devilish intervention. Like just today, when I was going back to my office, coming from lunch, um, I'm waiting on a traffic signal to change. And there's a car, two cars are ahead of me, waiting in front of me. Um, the light was red, and the car in front of me wished to make a right turn, as did I. But I guess two cars in front of me was waiting to go straight. So we had to wait behind that car before before I could make my right turn and before the car in front of me can make its right turn. So we waited. The light turned green. And then, lo and behold, the car at the very front turns right. Turns out neither myself nor the car in front of me had to wait because, it's legal to turn right on red. And it was annoying. But what I thought was annoying, the driver in front of me had a different idea. His mental, emotional interpretation was a little bit more extreme. And I say that because that driver followed the car that turned and sped up, caught up with that car, and drove alongside of it and was swearing at the other driver, and they were having a verbal exchange. I mean, I wasn't that close to see um, or hear, I mean, what they were saying, but um, I was just thinking to myself, I just hope they don't just act like two total idiots and not have to bear witness to something stupid. Unfortunately, um, the one car that held up the line sped off and, got away from the angry driver. So, you know, devilish intervention. Just see things daily. People at the office complaining, talking crap about each other. I mean, just daily stuff every day, day in and day out, satanic intervention. But again, back to what I said a little earlier, the Messiah said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you." Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. His righteousness will be given to you first, and then all the other things, minus the satanic intervention. So, to me, when I read that, when I first got wind of that statement by the Messiah, it kind of told me something. If he's telling me or you, if you're a believer, if you're a Bible believer, if he's telling me or you to seek ye first the kingdom of God, so what does that imply? If we have to seek after the kingdom of God, where are we right now that we have to seek after the kingdom of God? We have to find it. So where does that imply? What does that imply as to where we are right now? I'll tell you. That implies that we're in the devil's domain. That's what that implies. If he's telling you to look for God's kingdom, that means you're not in God's kingdom. And there's only one other place you can be. The devil's domain, folk, with all his demonic hordes, legions of demons. So now you know why the devil is so busy and why he's so easily, so consistently vexes you and anybody else, everybody you know. So there you go. That's why the devil is always so busy. We're in his territory. And I don't know if he's doing what he's doing to throw us out, or maybe he's doing what he's doing to sap away our spiritual strength and energy in order to preserve his own presence. But anyway, that's just a thought. That's why the devil is so busy, because we are in his domain and we need to get up and get out. Think about the prodigal son. Think about that parable when he took all of his inheritance and left his father's house. And he went to that foreign land and he got messed over pretty bad. All his money or whatever he had, his inheritance, got wiped out. And he came to a point where he was suffering miserably. He was suffering pretty bad. He was suffering unto death. And that's what everybody else is doing. They're suffering unto death. People talk about what don't kill you make you stronger. Suffering does not make you stronger. You got to figure out a way to get away from suffering, because suffering gradually depletes you physically, messes up your mental processes, saps your spiritual strength, and you decline in ways you know not how. I mean, it can be a physical illness, a mental illness, a combination of the two. So the prodigal son had no idea when he left his father's house that he was going into the devil's domain. But he did figure it out, and he said to himself, I have to get up out of here and go back to my father's house. And that's what the Messiah was saying when he told us to seek after the kingdom of God and his righteousness. So, that being said, do whatever you need to do to learn what it really means to seek after God's kingdom. You can't wait on nobody. It's not about waiting on anybody to come there and get you. You have to get up and get out of the devil's domain and go back to your father's house. Don't fall for that trick any longer. Nobody's coming to get you. Get up, get out of the devil's domain, and go back to your father's house. Anyway, thank you for listening. Hope you're doing well as can be. Subscribe to this channel, the Spiritology Television Network. And God bless.